Hey guys, Kevin here, and in this video I want to talk about the knife hand and making sure you get the most out of it. Okay, the knife hand. The knife hand is one of the most used techniques next to the punch in Tang Soo Do. And at most schools, you'll see they teach you how to form the hand with the thumb tucked in like this. Or you'll see him with the thumb riding along the side, pressed into the side. I prefer to have the thumb cocked back, just like when you make your palm heel fist. The same thing, I want this thumb cocked back like this. So there's a gap here and your thumb is pulled downward and backward. To me, instead of having the thumb here, it puts it in alignment with the rest of the palm, making it a completely flat surface. And it also, to me, more solid weapon, because when this is pulled back, the whole bottom of the palm is tensed and solid compared to here or here. Give it a try, see how it works for you, how it feels for you. I prefer to have it this way, and I'll show you another reason in a minute. So we use the chop this way, or we use it this way. This is the most common ways we're taught. Even in the forms, they're used here, or you may use it here. But one of the ways you can use it, which really isn't covered very much, is using it thrusting this way. It's the same weapon. In some schools, you'll see that this is a technique with a separate name. Using it this way is a different name. Using it as a spear hand, okay, I'll give you that one. But using it in different ways, depending on how you're using it to strike, is considered a different weapon, a different name. It's all the knife hand. It's just how it's employed. I'm about efficiency and effectiveness, and coming up with different names and going by all these different names, especially if you use Korean terminology, is just more and more to remember, okay? So it's still a knife hand, no matter whether you use it this way, whether you use it this way, whether you use it this way, it's still a knife hand, all right? But one of the ways that really isn't talked about much is using it thrusting. This is a very effective technique to strike the collarbone. Here, you can block, and then from here you just thrust straight forward into the collarbone. Again, this is thrusting straight. Straight thrust using this part of the hand right here. I'm able to thrust forward with this to the collarbone. Here, I can also thrust to this jawline, trying to catch right underneath this jawline, thrusting upward and pushing his head back, catching the side of the neck where the arteries are, as well as the jaw and the hinge of that jaw. Now, if you remember, I told you there's another reason this thumb is pulled back. And when it's pulled back like that and I thrust to the jawline, look where my thumb lines up. It lines up right with the eye. So if I'm striking the jawline, I'm also able to strike his eye at the same time. And then if you choose, you can make your claw, your tiger claw, hook behind the ear, and rip. Remember, this is self-defense. Some people say, that's mean, that's overkill, that's too much. This is self-defense, all right? And I want you to keep that in mind when we do techniques like this, because this person here, if they're really trying to attack you or do physical harm, they don't care. They don't care about you. They have no interest how many kids you have sitting at home. They do not care if you go home safe. They're worried only about themselves. And it's sad to say that that's how it is, but these people are out there. That's why we train. We don't look for fights, but these people are out there and we prepare for it if it were to ever happen. So think about that when you're training and doing your strikes and doing your techniques. Yes, you have the knife hand strike this way, the traditional chop. You have it coming from the outside this way, but you also have it thrusting. And even when I throw this, I will thrust it and snap going forward into that collarbone and make it a concussive strike. If I'm shooting forward, I'll also shoot forward and aim for the hinge right where the shoulder is to stop a punch. So if he's swinging, I'll jam that punch by shooting this knife hand right into the shoulder. And I'll be standing like this. If the punch is coming, I can stand forward and thrust this straight into that shoulder joint, and it's gonna shock the joint, if not damage it, and stop this punch to the point where even if it keeps coming around, there's not gonna be anything on it. His body is no longer behind that strike. So you also have it using it this way, but this thrust to the collarbone, to the shoulder, into the jaw, upwards to the jaw. No snap on this, because I want that thumb to line up with the eye. Thrusting forward, and then ripping or controlling the head, bringing them into an elbow, what have you. That is another critical and important way to use the traditional knife hand. If you have it like this, or you have it like this technique isn't gonna work. So give this a try. Rather than have it this way or have it pinned against the side, cock that thumb, pull it back and down, just like if you're making your palm heel. Pull it back and down and tense your hand and see for yourself if you think this is more solid. And then once you've got this, practice thrusting, snapping, thrusting forward, and then upwards. And that's just another way to employ a traditional strike in the Tang Soo Do system that is used so much that it's often overlooked. Give it a try, see how it works, leave a comment below if it works for you, what you think. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to hit the notification button so that you get notified every time a new video comes out. If you haven't been to my website lately, I was going to create a separate website called Tang Soo Do Life to do all the martial arts stuff. However, the way Google works, the more website, if I have websites that have similar information, it kind of messes things up for being found and all that. So rather than create tangsudolife.com, there's a separate page on my website at kevinwputala.com/tsdlife. And that is where everything I do martial arts related can be found. So be sure to check that out. The link will be in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Continue to train hard, stay focused, stay safe, and most of all, never ever quit. God bless.